Welcome to Talk Business with Audrey. Hosted by Audrey Bell-Kearney. The show that helps everyday people turn their big ideas into successful businesses so that they can live the boss life. Sit back and take notes.
Welcome to another episode of Talk Business with Audrey. Listen, I promised I was coming back to do it again. And today I am joined by Eboni Caldwell. She is such her energy just to be around, so bubbly all the time, y'all. She's a coach. She's a speaker. She has an amazing story. She's an entrepreneur. She's a fashion designer. She's your hype girl, your green smoothie girl, and she lost 50 pounds. Listen, anybody can talk about losing weight. I need to know what's the secret. So, Eboni, welcome. Thank you for being the guest today.
Hey, baby. Thank you for having me, Audrey. I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. So listen, Eboni is a member of Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce. As you can see scrolling across the stream right there. This is one of the perks of being a part of the family. You get to be on a live call with me. So Eboni, right now we're streaming live on Facebook. We're streaming live on LinkedIn. We're streaming live on YouTube. We're streaming live on Twitter, and we're streaming live on Amazon. So yes, people, you can stream live on Amazon. So we are streaming live all over the place. So happy to have you want to jump in and talk about your story. She's the mother of two twin young men. I won't say boys, two twin young men. And so we're going to talk about her story. So I know that you had I know you were married before. I know that you lost 50 pounds. I know that you have decided to help women become more empowered and to embrace who they are. Tell us about your journey and how you got to this place where you wanted to empower people with your company, productive and purpose. What is it?
I don't know. It's like a tongue tie. It's productive and prosper us, empower us. Prosper us, empowerment. Yeah, you're not the only one. People like Peter Piper picked the peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers? I'll be like, okay, that works.
Yeah, that thing. Yes, that works. So tell us a little bit about your backstory. I know you've been doing some great things in our community, in your community. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you got to this place where you really wanted to help women improve their lives.
Well, you know what? I got here through my trials of my own trials and tribulations. I've seen the bottom of the barrel, in my eyes, the bottom of the barrel, and I've always came out of it. And I've been down there several times. And I've always came out of it. And I'm not going to say for some reason, I don't know how, but I know how. It's from, the work of the Most High. I do know that. And the way that I am, something that I know about myself, I always see the glass half full. So no matter what was going on, honestly, in my whole entire spirit, I knew things would get better. And it just doesn't matter how many times I failed, how many times I tripped, how many times, things that has happened. I was just like, it's going to get better. It's like I always felt it within me, like it's better days. It's coming. And so now that I'm here, I've been through a lot. A lot. And it's not even something that I always talk about. People will never know because, when I'm around y'all, I'm always laughing. I'm always smiling. I'm throwing a little couple of dances in there and everything because that's just who I am. And it makes me feel good. So me running around focusing on everything bad that happened to me does me no good. I feel the only way that it'll do me good is like, wow, I came out of that. That shows me how strong I am. That shows me how I persevere. That shows me that there's a purpose for me on this earth while I'm here. So that's what keeps me going and not, focusing on everything that happened in the past. That's just not my thing. That's just not what I do. So with everything that has happened from homelessness, I was homeless twice. I was homeless when I was pregnant with my twins. And then I was homeless again when I was married. And I think my boys were just entering high school, just going in. And it was so embarrassing, for them and for me, and I just had to go through it. And it was like, after that, I was like, that's enough. I had reached my threshold, and not pointing fingers just at one person. It's just a decision you make on both ends. If you're not doing together or doing well together, if you're not making good decisions together, to me, that's a problem. You know what I mean?
So Eboni, how do you think you got to homelessness the first time when you were pregnant? How do you think you got to that place?
Oh, girl, because I was just by myself. It was just me. Like, I was young. I think 20. I had my boys when I was 21. teetering on 21. So I was young. I had my own place. I had a job, and I was doing good for myself. And just the girl, naive. I was naive, and them slick talkers got me good. Got me, and I'm just gonna be honest. It got me,
Yeah.
and you know what? I honestly thought that I would be okay. I thought like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get married. Like, I'm serious. I was like dreaming big. Like, I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, no. And how did this happen and why? And I was like, what? What do you mean? How did it happen? Where do you mean? I was distraught. And I was like, oh my gosh, what I'm gonna do? And I didn't even know I was pregnant with twins. And so I thought I was like maybe 6 months with one, and I was actually 4 months with two. And I cried. I sat there and I cried. I was more of a cry because it was overwhelming. And I already knew then that I was going to be by myself because that's what he expressed. That's what he expressed. And I couldn't even focus on that. I was like, honestly, I was like, I don't want to curse, but I was just like, damn. I was like, dang, girl, you done got yourself in a pickle. Like, and I was just like, it's nothing I could do. I got to move forward. My thoughts were not positive all the time, but I was like, what I'm going to do? And then I just ended up, because of me, being pregnant. I'm sorry I keep hitting that because my thing keeps. And so with me being pregnant with twins, the job that I had was in the food industry. Girl, let me tell you something. That did not work out because the morning sickness and being pregnant with twins, and the job, they was trying to be nice, but they was like, Eboni, you too sick, mama. They was like, you all over, and you sick, and every smell, every coffee, every cup of coffee, every sandwich you make, and this was like all the way out in Virginia. And they said, we can't have you here. And I understood, but I was just like, what am I going to do? And long story short, I was standing in the line in social services because I was losing my place because I already lost the job. So, that's the domino effect.
Right.
So I was already, I was standing in the line at social services and I didn't know where I was going. I know I was doing, a lady was standing behind me and she said, you be getting pretty big. She said, what are you having? I'm having twins. And she was like, she's like, bless your heart, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, are you getting help? I said, I'm trying to. I said, I'm about to lose my place. I said, I don't have nowhere to go. And I said, I'm standing here just to see what help I can get. It was a long line, girl. Them lines, social service lines be long. And she said, you know what? She said, there's this program. She said, I'm going to give you the number. She said, because they're not listed. She said, they're not listed. They're not in the phone books. They're not this. She gave me the number. I called and it was an infant and maternity home. And I called them and they told me that I was too old because I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 20. And she said, you're too old. We stop at, I think, 18. It's for teenagers. So we stopped at. And so, but she said, come in and just let me talk to you. And when she saw me, she must have just went off my energy. Because like I said, I was always still seeing the glass half full. I was like, look, make the best out of it, Eboni. You got to keep moving. You got to survive. And you know what? They welcomed me in there. And when I went back to call that lady to tell her thank you, because I was crying, she got in a car accident and I never heard from her ever again.
Wow. That was
so me personally, I think that was my guardian angel. And that's just me.
Yep.
I think she was just there for a reason and for a purpose. Yeah. And I never saw her again because I was going to tell her how much that I thanked her because I wouldn't have found that place without her because I didn't know nothing about it and it's not listed.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So that's how I got in there. But the place was awesome. It was ran by Catholic nuns and they took care of me and my babies. They gave me my first job, my first car. And I catapulted from there as far as being a single mom at first and, raising the boys.
So fast forward, now you're back on your feet. You're back on your feet at this point, and now you're married. Now you're married and got a husband with the boys. What happened?
Girl, let me tell you something. And you know what? Like I said, I'm not gonna point fingers. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put out there, and I'm gonna be honest, because I think women will be able to understand when a woman is in survival mode. And here I am with twin boys. And I meet a guy who was perfectly a gentleman. He, as a matter of fact, we talked. He didn't even meet my children. I was really being like a prude because I was like, never again. I was like, we're going to move differently. I was like, we're going to talk on this phone for like 30 to 60 days. We're going to get to know each other. So he really never saw my children until maybe after 90 days. And I'm being honest. And he's like, well, I really would like to meet your children, blah, blah, blah. And he got to know me. I don't even think we really went on a date. We always were just talking on the phone. And we actually didn't get married till way down the line. And I should have saw the signs then because he really wasn't. It wasn't like he was like, oh, Eboni, you're the love of my life when you marry me. It was just more like, I was just more like, so how long you think this going to work like this? And shacked up and we ain't married. So we got married off of that pretense. So, and I feel that because of that, that's where everything else follows from there. So I did eventually got divorced. We were married for 11 years though, but we were together longer than that. But
Wow.
we were actually married for 11 years, and I had asked for a divorce. A lot of things took place, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I don't know, when I hit 39, 40, it's just something inside me was like a snap, like it was just like a click. It was just like I woke up, and it's like my whole spirit and even my human side was just like, that's it. That's
Yeah.
enough. You know what? I don't want to
Yeah.
get emotional, but my body was just like, that's enough. And I'm sorry. And
It's
I was just
okay.
like, it's enough. I was like, it's time to take, because I could have did all that. I'm not gonna say I could do bad by myself, because like I said, it was decisions I made too. But I had got to the point where I was like, that's it. And I was like, Ebony, you're better than this. I was like, you're such an awesome and amazing person. And that's when that self-love started coming in, that self-talk, and then I lost the weight. Because once I asked for a divorce, I didn't do it for him. I didn't do it for nobody. I did it for me. It's like something just
Yeah.
clicked. And then I remember I prayed. I said, I need something to where it's going to be good for me, good for my body. It's going to be long term. And that's when a book came, and I just learned it. And I lost like over 50 plus pounds, and I kept it off for the most part. And
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here, still growing, still learning. But when I left him everything, and I moved to an apartment. And mind you, my boys, when I finally left, my boys were seniors in high school. So they stayed with him because the school was right down the street. So it wasn't no reason for them to go all the way. So they finished high school, and I'll be honest, with me living by myself, the peace that I obtained was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. It was
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. And the growth that occurred for me, the growth mentally, spiritually, emotionally, was absolutely amazing. I learned Ebony. I learned self. It wasn't for anyone else. It was just the betterment, if that's a word. I think it is for me. And that peace, it's like once you witness peace, or once you had peace, you'll fight for that. So
Yes.
it was absolutely amazing. So that's how I got there. But go ahead, Mama. I can talk all day.
So, okay, so now we understand your journey, and we now understand your passion for wanting to help women who have been through so much. And a lot of times we focus on everybody else and not ourselves. And that's, we have to start taking care of ourselves better. So now you're in this place of peace. You're kind of homeless, but you're not. And you decide to start these businesses. What brought that part on? What made you say, you know what, I'm at a place right now where I want to go into entrepreneur? Because let me tell y'all something. Entrepreneurship is not easy. We talk about this all the time. I've been one for so long, and it has not been easy. And I remember, Ebony, when I first started my first business, I had I love Jeeps, y'all. Like, I love Jeeps. I have a Jeep to this day, and people tell me, oh, you should get another car, but I like Jeeps. So my first business, when I first started my first business, I had a Jeep. I have another Jeep. But I remember quitting my job at Verizon, and I remember waking up in the middle of the night because I thought they were going to repossess my truck, because I was following my dreams of being an entrepreneur. So I felt like they was going to repossess my truck. So every time I would hear a loud noise, I would jump out of bed and look out the window to make sure my truck was still there. So this is not easy. What made you say, you know what, this is the path that I want to take now? I want to start my own business. I want to be my own boss, because you wear all the hats right out the gate. If you don't have the capital to bring on a team, you're it, baby. It is just you.
So I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna go ahead and give Miss kudos. But my ex-husband, I will say this: I want to put that in there. We are the best of friends. I
Nice.
didn't want to leave with an attitude. I think walking away and being mad, even though we raised a family together, I just don't think it was healthy for the boys. So I told him I still want to be friends. I'm cool. At first he was like, "No, all that stuff." So, but as of today, we are very close. We're cool with each other. With them the whole time. He was a person about being an entrepreneur. He pushed that on me and the boys. He pushed that when the boys would say, I want to play football and I want to play for this football team. He would always stop them and say, well, why don't you just own the football team? And he was like, Dad, you know what? That makes sense. And they'd be like, well, Dad, you know what? That makes sense. And so learning from him, that's the entrepreneurship, and I was scared. And he was like, Ebony, just go. And the first thing he pushed me into was like insurance. I was an insurance broker, insurance agent. And once I got a taste of that, I was like, hey, this is awesome. This is awesome. So fast forwarding, I already had a taste of that, and I loved it. So I just jumped out there because so many ideas were coming and dreams were coming. So the productive and prosperous empowerment, like you say, it was just paying it forward and helping, because I know I wasn't the only one that's been through that. Now,
Right.
maybe not, book page by page, but I know a lot of women and people in general go through stuff and they think it's the end of the road. They think that's it. They can't come back from a divorce. They can't come back. I mean,
Right.
like, hell, you can. If anything,
Yeah.
you can come back even more powerful. It's not, and I love love. I love being, I want to be married again. I do. And I'm opening myself to that, but I'm not searching. I'm not going out there searching for it. It'll come naturally.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that, the growth and what you can do with yourself is amazing. I feel that if we're made in God's image, how much power you think you got?
Right. Right.
So with that being said, the name of the business, I was just like, I need to help people. And people would always come to me and was like, your energy. They was like, you just grab my attention. They was like, when you talk or when you speak and when you tell us something, it's like, you just had me like this. And then I was a cheerleader too for years. So, I could be in the background cheering for you. I'll be like, go sis, you better get them. Go, so I'm hyped at the same time. So I'm like, somebody's like, you need to speak. They said, because you got a story. And then they said, you know how to deliver it. And they said, just everything you talking about. It's like, sis, you need to speak. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to speak. So then during the pandemic, I got certified for a life coach. And that's when I set up the LLC and my Productive and Prosperous. Now, I will tell you this real quick. How I came up with the name, I had it like Ebony Caldwell Empowerment Coaching, because I was like, just name it after me. I was brushing my teeth and I talked to God on a regular. I'm gonna tell you that now. I talk to the Most High. I'm telling you, I'm aligned. I plays no games. So I talk to God on a regular. So I would just brush my teeth, and all of a sudden, I promise you, some came out and some said Productive and Prosperous. Girl, I dropped my toothbrush in the sink. I was looking in the mirror, eyes big, and I'm just staring, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I wasn't scared, but I'm just like, I was kind of happy, like, ooh, they came and told me. Like, ooh, little old me, you came and told me. So I was excited.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just
Yeah.
started going. And my sister helped me make up. I was doing Productive and Prosperous, like the word in the dictionary. But then my
Right.
sister was like, no, Productive and Prosper us. She said, because you're prospering us all. So if I talk to one person and help them, then that one person might go and help 12 others.
Yep.
Out of that 12, that one of them people, two of them people might go help another 100. So here it is, we're prospering us all. So if I'm coming from a what is that? A healed, a positive well-being, I've forgiven, and I'm coming from a positive place, then I can give people good information, that's not ill-willed or with bad intentions. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's like a African proverb that I wrote down in there: reach one, teach one.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Yes. So
Each
that's
one
really
teach
like
one.
the
Yeah.
model of my Productive and Prosperous empowerment.
So, entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely, right? They always say
Yes.
it's lonely at the top because it's not crowded, which is true. How has that journey been for you? Like, because I know, there you lose friends because people don't understand the plight, the journey, the path that you're on. So you lose friends. You have people who want to support you that you thought that would support you, and you're surprised, like, I can't believe such and such, they won't even support my business. People that you've done things for, who you've bent over backwards for, and now it's your turn to say, hey, support me, and they don't. How has the journey been for you, taking this trip like into entrepreneurship? How has that been?
So I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really get too mad at people saying they did not support me, because from what I've learned, the people on the street, strangers, support you quicker than family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
I did lose some friends, but I'm being honest, I didn't cry over it, because, like I say, the growth and all the learning that occurred, and I'm glad that all this stuff had occurred in the past, because where I am and me still learning, I don't get too mad, because I'm just like, well, that comes with being an entrepreneur. That's how I see it. I didn't have any support, and I'm gonna be honest. After I left Maryland, the Maryland area, and moved to Georgia, I don't know, y'all supported something different. I was just like, sis, what you need? Sis, here go the number. Sis, what else? Here go the website. All right, well, I'm going to text you this information. All right, well, then you know what? Come visit me over here. We got this event. Oh, guess what else, sis? Oh, you know what? I know this dude. It was just a barrage. I mean, abundance. It's not even a negative word I'm going to use. It was abundance and prosperity just being thrown at me. And I never, ever had anything like that until I came over here on this end, and I love it. I'm accepting it, and my arms are open wide, and I'm taking all of that and I'm paying it forward, because the love that I'm getting from all of y'all is insane.
Well, Eb, the thing about it is you attracted that. You attracted that to you. You attracted that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times when you have to ask yourself, who am I that I'm attracting in this? I'm attracting this, right? So you were warning that, and you put out this because just like y'all see her right now, this is how she is all the time. So
I
you
know.
put that big energy out and you attracted it back. So you attracted all of these people who want to reach out, they want to help and support. And the one thing about being in the South, there's a real Southern hospitality here, right? I was born in
It
Georgia, but I was
is.
raised in Jersey. But I would tell people, I used to tell my mom. My mom used to always be fussing, like, "Why you want to go back to Georgia? Like, that's our home." My mother didn't want to come back, but I was like, I would tell people, at the heart of who I am a country girl. At the heart of who I am, so there's a real thing called Southern hospitality, and it's real. And so you are just getting a taste of that. Now that you're here, I can tell you this too. There's so many opportunities here in Georgia, right? It's so many, y'all, that it can become overwhelming. So just like Ebony saying, people said, here you go, here you go, here. It's just that many opportunities out there. But you got to know the right people. You got to be in the right circles. All of that right there makes a big difference. You got to know who are the players in the game. You got to know all of that. But people are willing, like once they get to know you, they are willing to extend a hand
They
and
are.
give you some advice and things like that. Now that being said, you do have your clicks. It's just
Oh,
the
I
way it
know.
is. There are some clicks down here. It's just the way it is. But that's okay, because once you figure out which click is which, you know which way to go. So that's
I found
okay.
out.
So now I know you've been working on a project. And so tell us, because I know I'm a big journaler. I love journals. I have journals all over my house. I love them. I write in them all the time. I have paper by my bed. I got journals. I got journals in the car. I got journals in all my purses. I love journals. So I know you've been working on a project. Tell us about your project.
So I have a digital journal. I call it an e-journal, and it's a workbook as well. And it focuses on everything that my business focuses on. It focuses on four core self values, and that's self love, self worth, self care, and self affirm. It's about 100 pages, if not a little bit more, and it just breaks everything down. Have you writing things down and speaking them at the same time. And I'm going to revert back because, like, as far as me getting to Georgia, as far as everything, how you said I attracted it, let me tell you something, sis. I wrote everything down. I had surgery and I was down for like about 3 or 4 months. So instead of me just sitting there and soaking, I was like, I said, I'm about to manifest some stuff. I said, I'm
Yeah.
about to manifest some stuff because manifestation is real, especially if you're aligned. So I was like, let me go ahead and manifest some stuff while I'm not working and I'm healing. And
Mm-hmm.
I did it. I wrote stuff down like 3, 6, and whatever certain amount of numbers. And then I spoke it at the same time. And every time I did it, I made myself feel that it was already done. So I put myself in that
Mm-hmm.
energy and in that frequency, and it was like it was already done. So I stayed in my I ams, and I promise you, in 3 months, I was here in Georgia. I had a new car, a new place, and I mean, in 3 months, and I promise, because I still got everything that I wrote down. So I was like, I need to get this how I did it, and let me put it out there, and let me help people at the same time. You're filling your cup to the brim, so you can
Mm-hmm.
graciously pour into others. So focus on you first. And it's not a selfish thing. I know there's people that's married, have children, have multiple things to do,
Yeah.
but you got to find that time for self, because you'll burn yourself out. And then who's going to come and help you? And then what's going to happen if you're gone and you left a hubby or a significant other and children and other people who really needed you? They got to understand that you got to make time for yourself. And I
Yeah.
think it's coming from a healthy state. When you put out that type of energy, you'll attract people that respect that love and that self-care that you have for you. They're gonna respect and love that. People that don't respect it, then they can kick rocks and blow bubbles because they
That's
don't
right,
respect
girl. That's right. Now, I want you to talk about something, because this is a big one, self worth. I know one of your cores is self worth. Talk about that, because I think I bump into at least one woman a week who don't know her worth. Talk about how to help women find their worth, like and embrace who they are, and that self worth.
you actually said it. It's embracing you who you are, wherever you are in life. Even if it's not something that you like, you better learn to like it, because you got to like who you are first to become that better person or better version of yourself that you want to become. And that's what I had to do. I really had to do that. That worth thing, it comes from inside. It's not gonna come from someone else. It comes from you. Happiness comes from you, the self-love, the self-worth. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself every day, you state your affirmations. You look yourself in the eye in the mirror and you state your I ams, because that's what I had to do. I had to say, I am love and light. I am life's best friend. I am a gift to this world. I am absolutely amazing. And not to the point where I'm putting anyone else down. I never did that. Everything I said was to uplift myself. My worth is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just saying it, because that's how I am so affirmed. I stand. My whole foundation is so solid. From back then, you'd have been like, Ebony, pick yourself up, baby girl, and get up and come on. But now I'm just like, try me. Please try me. And I don't even have to like go off on you. I'm just like, try me. You wouldn't even try me, because you would see this whole aura of energy around me, and I'm divinely protected. So it's not even gonna work. So the worth comes from you. You have to start with you, and that's what's in my e-journal that I have debuting soon. And that's what everything I break it all down. Like, it's long. It's not long, but it's gonna set you up real good, my e-journal, because I really broke it down, and that's how I got here to where am today at the tender age of 47.
You know, when I first started to learn about journaling, like I had never thought about journaling, right? I would write down stuff in notebooks. Like, I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks.
Me too, Mama. I got sparkly ones. I got things with stuff written on the covers. I'm like, ooh, that's cute.
But the minute I realized the power of journaling, it all changed for me. It became like this thing that I had to do. And I found myself doing exactly what you said. My I am statements. I am this, I am that. And I remember reading this book by this guy, his name was Mark Allen. And he said that he said, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm not a day person. He said, I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm not a day person. And he had these affirmations that he would say. And he would always say, to the highest of my ability and for the good of all. And I used to just walk around and start saying all these things, for the high of my ability and for the good of all. And I started to do that. I started to journal and write things down. And I found that when I wrote things down and I journaled about things, they either came true or they gave me so much clarity so that I can get to the next thing. Because that was another thing. Like, when you are an entrepreneur, you have what's called monkey brain a lot of times. Right? It's
I know, and there's so many ideas and things that you got to write down, because you'll miss them.
Yeah, you'll miss them. And not only that, but it'll make you lose focus, because as one good idea come in, another one goes out, then another one comes in. So I would have like monkey brain, and then I'll be like feeling scattered. But the minute I would write down what I was thinking, what I was grateful for, the things that I was having challenges with, it would clear up, and then I felt better. And I'm like, okay, this is great. So journaling is a big thing. So I can't wait to see the journal. I can't wait to see your e-journal. I can't wait to like be able to use it and just, introduce it to all of the rest of our women at Gwinnett Women's Chamber. I just know that it's going to help so many people. And your story, like, this is what we do is not easy, but you have said, you know what, I'm going to stick it out no matter what. What gave you that kind of the stick-to-itiveness to say, you know what, I'm gonna stay in this space? Because I'm almost sure you had some challenges as an entrepreneur.
Oh my gosh, yes, I had a lot of challenges, and I never quit. It was only one time where I almost quit, and it was bad. I was cursing, and I'm not gonna lie, I was cursing up above, cursing everybody out. I'm gonna be honest, and I was angry, and I was like, that's it, I quit. I said, because I'm trying everything, and why do I keep being stopped? Why is this happening to me? And see, now I'm speaking words I normally don't say. And I'm like, why? And I was angry, and I collapsed, and I was in a closet, and I just collapsed. And my ex-husband called me, and when he heard me talking, he stopped, and he came immediately, because he said he's never heard me talk like that.
Wow.
And he said he knew something was wrong.
Wow.
Because I never talk. That's just not what I do. So when he came, he was like, Ebony, he said, you have to get up. He said, because this is not you. This is not how you talk. This is not. And he kind of put things into perspective. He said, did you ever see why it happened? He said, are you looking at the bigger picture? And so when I had to sit still for 2 weeks, the bigger picture did come in. I was like, oh, I'm like, but y'all did that another way? Like, couldn't that just happen another? Like, why would y'all do that to really break me? But that's because I was doing something in a manner as far as business wise, but it was so mediocre, and it was way bigger than that. So I had to stop going in that direction, because it was just basically saying, baby girl, stop. It's bigger than that, and you're not even paying it. So since you don't want to stop, we're going to stop you, stop your money, because that's what happened. It was so bad. It stopped my income. It stopped everything, because I wasn't working for 2 or 3 weeks. So once my money stopped, and I think they know that, like, I really finally stop and pay attention. Then when she stopped my money.
Yeah. You know,
So
it's
yeah.
that happened to me last year. So I had been talking about I want to have this big news organization, and I kind of liken it to, so if you've ever been to Atlanta and you're driving down 85, Turner Broadcasting, you can see Turner Broadcasting TBS off of 85, right? And so Ted Turner, that was his company he started. You could see it off the side. And when I moved to Georgia and I was coming from the airport, I saw like Turner Broadcasting, and I saw all of the all of the shows that are broadcast on Turner Broadcasting. Night Swimmers up there, I think the CW, something. They were all on the side of the building. I'm like, I want that. I want to build a company like that, right? And so I would drive down 85 and I would see like Turner Broadcasting, and I was like, I want that. So I kept saying, I want this news organization, I want this media conglomerate. This is what I want. And I wouldn't even fix the website the right way, right? And I knew I needed, and the reason I wouldn't change is because I had so much content on my website, Ebony, so much content. Till just the thought of moving all that content to a new site, it was like that was painful. Well, God said, you playing games. You say you want this, but you won't move. Well, he shut the entire site down, and the hosting company could not figure out how to get the site back up. And I was like, what do you mean? They could not get my site back up. So everything that was on the site was lost. I had to start from zero. Scratch. They could not figure out what went wrong. They could not get it back up. And I had to start. So in January, I started from zero. Scratch. And now when I look at my site, I look at it with so much pride. I see the big vision. You know, I see the new site that I had been talking about I wanted. And it looks so nice. And I'm like, wow. But it took him slapping my hand and said, you say you wanted this. I said you can have it, and you playing games. How do you know when God is speaking to you? How do you know that? When God is speaking, how do you know that?
You know what? I'm gonna have to sit on that one for a minute. You know what? I do know. It's like things come to me and it'll be out of nowhere. I could just be sitting there, and all of a sudden it's just like, I don't know. It's like it's not that I hear something. It's like it either pops up or I'll hear something, but it just comes out of nowhere, and I know I need to pay attention. And I will say, because of those couple of times that it did happen, I made sure I make myself open to receive the messages, because here I am asking for this and asking for that, but I'm not open myself to receive it. That's a big no-no that people got to learn, because you might not like the answer you're gonna get, but you asked. So it's going to come to you the way that it needs to come to you. So it's like, I don't know. It's like I get a hunch or something. I get a hunch that I didn't get before. That's why I always, profess that I'm in full alignment, because it's like, now I get a hunch. I just feel things. That's all. Even right down to people. And I'll ask a question. When I ask, it always comes in my dreams. I do. I will say that for sure. When I ask something about myself or about someone else or about a situation, it actually comes in my dreams.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got women listening. They're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. They're in a bad situation in their relationship. They have children that are ungrateful, the little ingrates. You know, it's a lot going on in their lives, but they want to live their dreams. They want to start the business. They want to step out on faith. What do you tell them?
So if they want to do that, they're going to have to become aligned. They're going to have to become aligned with themselves. And if that's what they want, they're going to have to be ready for it. So my first thing for everything, get a journal. Sis, I'm telling you, because once you get that journal, once you start writing it down, it's something about writing it and saying it. It's like a double impact. It's like when you write it, because I still got journals to this day that I can go look at from years ago. And it's things happening now that I wrote years ago.
Yep.
And so my first thing is write down everything that you want. But when you write it down, don't say I am going to be, I want. No, I am. I am this. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am the owner of this. I am the successful owner of this. I am. You speak it like it's already done. You write it down and you speak it. And I promise you, once you do all that, I am in a good relationship with my children. I am. So I have that, because I've been through that with my boys. So I writing all that down, I think that is the first and foremost thing, is journaling. Get you a journal. I don't care. I got sparkly journals from Walmart, Kmart. I'm not plugging them because they're not paying me, but I got journals from everywhere. And that's what started my process with everything. Because it's like, once you write it down and you put it out in the universe and you speak it, I promise you a way will be made for you. You just better be ready for it when it comes.
That's right. Listen, don't ask for things that you're not ready for, because God is going to send them to you. He really will. And then you say you wanted that. And the other thing too is, don't think that that's it, right? If you ask God for something, you got to do the work. Let me say
Oh
that part
yes.
again. Got to do the work.
You said work with a hard K on it, which is
Yes. With a hard K, work.
that's what you said. And you're right. It is work to come. And then also people got to understand, when you ask for something, it's not gonna come all pretty and tied in a bow like you want it. Because if you got to go through something to get there and become aligned with it, and I always say align, but that then so be it. You just have to do it. Because I know the prayer that I asked for, I still remember it till this day. And I wrote it down. I remember where I was at. I remember being on my knees, and I know what I asked for. And after that, I will say, back then I would have said bad things happen, but now when I look at it, I said that needed to happen to get me to that next spot. That got me to this spot, to that spot. But it had to happen. But it was bad, and it was like just a series of events. But then all I heard was like, "You asked for that. This is what you asked for." And then I was like, oh man. So I'm always just go back, well, dang, but why did y'all do it like that though? Like, was this, but I'm like, no, because now I'm ready. So because abundance of things is coming, I already know that abundance. So now I'm so humbled, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm still learning, but I'm ready. I'm ready.
And I like the fact you said I'm still learning. So let's transition for a second. All right, so you have a clothing line, right? You have
I
a
do,
clothing
Mama.
line.
That's what I'm working on. I have like 2 things. Go ahead, finish.
So I want to, because the fashion industry can be a little fickle. It can
It
be a
is.
little bit, it'll shut you out. What made you decide to take that route as one of your entrepreneurial journeys?
Because I dreamt of it. I was dreaming, and this is so long ago. I'm quite sure I missed opportunities to make it bounce off way a while ago, but it's okay. It's okay. I've learned, and I dreamt of a blazer that I was putting on my sister. And I make my own patterns on my fabric. So I don't need no one to give me fabric with a pattern. I design my own patterns on my fabric. And it's absolutely amazing, Mama. It's hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was putting this blazer on my sister, and I was fitting it on. And I still to this day remember how it was cut, how it was designed. I drew it, and I don't even draw. And after that, I kept getting a series of dreams back to back. Shoes, bag. I'm gonna stop right there because it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to be honest and upfront. I know I'm in the right place, and I know I'm aligned for, and I know it's coming. So I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, and walking in my journey and my steps that I'm supposed to get there.
5 years from now, what you doing?
Oh, girl, I'm a successful owner of 3 highly successful businesses, sis. I'm a multimillionaire. I promise you that. It's already done. Trust me. It's done. I
when
mean
when so
that.
when Ebony when Ebony greets us inside of the Thrive Tribe, right? She says, "Hello, millionaires," and when everybody
I be
like,
like,
"Hello,
Grand Rising millionaires.
Grand Rising millionaires." That's how she greets us, y'all. Grand Rising, because you gotta speak those things as though they were,
Yeah.
and that's biblical. That's not us just saying that. That's biblical, because the minute you start to embrace all of that stuff, things start to change. So much has happened with me and Georgette launching this chamber. I mean, I'm a die-hard entrepreneur. I'm gonna be one till they put me in the box. So
What?
somebody asked me, why do I say that? Russell Simmons used to say that. He used to say something about putting him in the box, right? And when he said that, I was like, that's me. Till they put me in the box, this is who I will be, because I love what I do, but I also love helping other entrepreneurs. And so, when we think of when all of the things that I have started, and I've done a lot. I've done a lot. I'm an inventor, and I'm an author. I'm all these things. I've done a lot. I still feel like I got a lot of work to do. So when I hear people say my 5-year dream is this, or I plan on being that, or I'm going to be at this, that's amazing to me, because before I was this person, I don't know if I could have said that. If you had asked me in 1998, what does 5 years look like? I couldn't have said that. I couldn't have
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to say that because my boys was just turning 2 years old because they was born in '96, and I was just like, what in the entire hell is going on here?
not and the entire hell, y'all.
The
She
entire
said the
hell is
entire,
going on here.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking that at all. I was like survival mode. I was like, come on, yeah.
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 Speaking of survival mode, during your years, and I give you a story. When I started my business, my daughter was 7. She was 7 at the time. And so she grew up with me being an entrepreneur. She grew up like that, right? But there were times when she did not understand. And so we would go to doll shows, like DOLL doll shows, because I'm an inventor. So I invented the first plus size fashion doll. We would go to doll shows. And I was a single parent at the time, had quit my job, took a paper route so I could follow my dream, which was crazy, but I did it. And she would want to buy dolls. And I felt so bad. I'm like, baby, we're not here to buy anything. We're here to sell these dolls. And the dolls were high. Collectible dolls, if you don't know, they're expensive. So it wasn't like going to Walmart and buying a doll off the shelf. No, these were dolls by doll creators that cost hundreds of dollars. And I'm here trying to sell my dolls. And she would want a doll. And I felt so bad because at that time, I wasn't in a position where I could buy her a doll that cost $100, So what did you do to help your children understand what you were doing and that this was for them? And right now, mommy might not be able to give you all the things you want, but in the end, this is for you.
So I'll be honest, I really wasn't good at that. I mean, they saw us because at the time of me being married, because I got with my ex-husband and the guy that raised them. That's their dad, because he raised them. He's been there ever since they were about 2. Yeah, 2. They understood entrepreneurship because that's what he did, and that's what we, promoted as much as we could. Like I said before, he would just say it's better to own a team, not play for the team, or not. If you're going to put all that energy working hard for someone else, then do it for yourself. So that was mostly what we taught them. But I was young. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to sit there and try to toot my horn. I did the best I can with what I had. So I didn't say too much of it. I just went with the flow, mama, because I wasn't where I am now mentally.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I'm just being real. I'm just being honest. I mean, and they know that now, and they saw it, so they're respectful of it. But yeah, I wasn't too much on it. Like how you were with your daughter, you weren't playing games, sis. Playing games.
Yeah, but I couldn't, and it's crazy because I remember she was in 3rd grade, and I remember the teacher calling me and saying her grades was slipping. I'm like, her grades slipping. And I remember going to the school to find out what was going on. And so they told me, it's like, she said you work all the time. And boy, did I feel like a bad parent. I felt like the worst parent in the world. And I cried all the way to work that day. But what I did was I made the adjustments. I said, okay, so she said I work a lot. So what I would do is, Eboni, when she came home at 3:00 from school, from 3 to 8, it was just mommy and me time. But when she laid her head down at 8:00, mom was back on the clock again. And I would do that till like 4:00 in the morning. And then I would go to sleep. And then I would get up at 7:00. I would get up at 4:00, go do my paper route, go sling the papers, come back, lay down for an hour, and then take her to school and start all over again. And I did that for about 5 years. But now she understands because now she's an entrepreneur. Now she understands. She's a mommy. So now she understands. And the older she got, the more I think she understood. But I never in my life thought she would be an entrepreneur. I never thought that because I figured my life was so up and down as an entrepreneur. I never thought that she would go that route. But she's an entrepreneur. She's an IT engineer, but her passion is in the entrepreneur space.
Oh, no, I see her. I see her.
Yeah.
She be on it.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, all right, how can people reach out to you if they want to reach out to you? Where can they find you?
My email address and all my stuff is so long. And yes, I'm working on that now. Did you laugh at me?
I did.
Everyone knows that, it goes to www. But it's productive and prosperous, but not prosperous how it's spelled in the dictionary. It's prosper us, like US, us. So it's productive and prosper us empowerment. And once you pull it up, it'll come up. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram under I am Coach Eboni with an I. Yeah, so you hit me up. I mean, I'm everywhere. I'm always doing videos. Y'all know I'm always uploading and doing stuff. So yes, I am available for speaking engagements, group, person. Look at Audrey. Now I'm gonna tell you now, Audrey is the techie out of everyone. This girl, when I say tech, she be like, okay, we gonna do this, we gonna do that. She don't play no games with the techies. Straight tech, and she love it. Like her eyes get big when it has to do something.
So you know what's funny? I went to a pitch last Friday, and so one of the chairman for the Gwinnett Women's Chamber, the tech chairwoman, you think I'm techie? She's real techie. Like she's a real techie. But she pitched her company, right? And as I'm the only one in like I'm all excited because she's talking about technology and how it's going to change. I'm like, I'm feeling like a proud
You like
mother, right? I'm like, oh, look at her. I'm so proud. And she did a great job, but I could tell that what she said went right over people's head. Like, and I said to myself, she's not gonna win because they don't even know what she's talking about at this point. And she's really like, you think I'm techie? Wait till you get a chance to talk to her. She's the chairwoman.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get it because it goes right over my head.
She's very techie. She's a tech person that she codes, she make things, she invent with tech. So that was funny. And I had to laugh at my own self because I was like, man, I feel like a proud parent right now. She's talking my language, but I'm looking at other people like this, is it right over their heads. And I was like, okay. So anyway, I want to thank you so much. And I want to say, you've been a part of Gwinnett Women's Chamber in my life. It's just been a blessing. Her energy is always so infectious, y'all.
It is.
Like when you see her, this is what you see. And she cracks me up and she says stuff and she do funny things and she looks amazing. She dropped it. How'd you lose 50 pounds? Wait a minute. We didn't talk about that. How'd you drop 50 pounds?
I did a detox. And then after that, I had to change my mindset about food. So I just changed it's a lifestyle change. So I eat pretty clean. I mean, I have my days, but for the most part, I eat clean. I drink plenty of water, and I had to do a detox just to clean the toxins out of my body because it's years and years. And that sluggish liver, once you have a sluggish liver, and that weight across your waist is not a game. So once I did the detox and I cleansed that liver and got it back to A1, it was like, come on, baby girl, let's get it. So then
she looks amazing, y'all. Like I was like,
thank you, baby.
50 pounds. She looks amazing. But listen, let me say this. She put in the work. She do the work.
Yeah, I did. It's a mental thing. It is. It's a mental thing. You can work out all you want, but it's really the food that you eat more than what you work out. Yeah. You wasted time working out, but still eating a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing a little fasting thing. So I got on the scale today because it's Monday. I weigh on Mondays, and I was like, "Oh snap! I'm down 3 pounds. I'm dancing this morning, like,
hey, I'd have been right there with you."
Yeah, it's working though, and I was like, "Okay, that's working. Like I could do that. That's working." So you got to find what works for you. Yes. I know some people who. I'm not a clean eater because I like crab, so I'm not clean eating anything.
No, I have my days. You see me when we get together, I'll be like, ooh. But I'll be like, okay, I can't eat it after this time.
Right. She'll go work it off too. So that's another good thing. So anyway, Eboni, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to the journal. I'm looking forward to listen, we're going on a book tour. You didn't hear it here, but you heard it. So we got big things planned. So
we have a lot of big things going on, Mama. Yeah. Like it's so much to the point. It's abundance. That's what I want to say, because I don't want to make it like a negative connotation, but it's just an abundance of things that it's like you like, okay, I need to make room. It's okay, I need it, but I love it. I wrote that down. I wrote it down like a tribe. Being surrounded by just amazing, smart, helpful, bright, intelligent. And when I wrote all that down, I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. GWC Thrive is everything.
Tribe. We are the Thrive Tribe over at Gwinnett Women's Chamber. Yeah. So you want to know more about Thrive Tribe, you can go to www.thrivetribe.biz or just go to the Gwinnett Women's Chamber and join us. No matter where you are in the world, you're welcome to join us. We have 4 to 6 virtual events, so you never get a chance to miss anything. And we have about 6 to 8 in-person events. So you're welcome to join us. There's not a lack of things to do in this chamber, but we have some really, really powerful virtual events that we do Monday mornings, Sunday evenings, Sunday afternoons, and Tuesday evenings. So you're gonna get what you need to be fed, and and we focus on the whole woman.
We do.
The whole woman.
It's well-rounded, and the vibe is very high. I always like to say we vibe very high on this end. So it's absolutely amazing. If you're thinking twice about it, to me, it's investing in yourself. That's just how I see it. And that's what I did.
That's what you did. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, listen, Evan, you have a good rest of your evening. I'll be back again on Thursday. Is it Thursday? The 11th, May the 11th, with another great woman. Listen, I told you I got them coming, baby. They coming back.
You have a lot.
I do. I do. I need to get me a Halls and like suck on it so I can like keep my throat, straight. But we got great women, and I want to introduce you to all of them, and Eboni is one of them. So thank you again. We'll be back again on May the 11th at 6 p.m. So be sure to join us then with another great woman from the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce here on the Talk Business with Audrey show. Y'all know I like that. These are women in business today. Take it easy. Until next time, make it a great day. Bye, Eboni. Bye, everybody.
Bye, babe.
You've been listening to Talk Business with Audrey. Bringing you another powerful resource to help you start or grow your business so that you can live the boss life. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to the show now, share it with your friends, and drop Audrey a note over at www.talkbusinesswithaudrey.biz.